At dawn the following day, Yudhishthir, surrounded by his brothers, entered the royal court before King Virat arrived. They were dressed in white clothes and adorned with gold ornaments. Like 5 angry lions, they strode up to the royal dais and took their seats on thrones which were reserved for kings. Soon after their arrival, the king, accompanied by his ministers, entered the hall. Virata saw with surprise that Kanka was sitting near his throne with the 4 Pandavas next to him. Still not realizing their identities, Virata stormed over to Kanka. "What are you doing? You are a dice player and a courtier. Why are you sitting on a royal seat, adorned with ornaments, and surrounded by my cook and my horse and cow keepers?" Brihanala replied, "This man, O king, is worthy of sharing a seat with Indradeva himself. Ever engaged in performing sacrifice, respectful toward brahmanas, well versed in the Vedas, firm in his vows, why, he is the very embodiment of virtue. Even the celestials, asuras, nagas, gandharvas, yakshas, and other divine beings are not his equal. He is far-sighted, forgiving, powerful, truthful, and self-controlled. Famous all over the world and loved by all, this man is like a royal saint, just like the great Manu himself. O king, here is the foremost of all the Kurus, the pious King Yudhishthir. Does he not deserve a royal throne?" King Virata's eyes opened wide. Staring at the 5 brothers one after another, he then replied, "If this is Yudhishthir, then who are these other 4? Where is the mighty Bhima and his invincible brother Arjuna? Where are Nakula and Sahadev and the illustrious Draupadi? Since their defeat at dice, no one has seen them." Arjuna now lifted his hand towards Bhima. "This one, your cook Vallabha, is Bhimasena, possessed of dreadful prowess and energy. It was he who slew the lustful Kichak. And on the other side of Yudhishthir sits Nakula, the keeper of your horses, and next to him Sahadev, your chief cowherder. These 2 warriors are capable of slaying enemy battalions consisting of thousands of warriors. As far as the lotus-eyed Draupadi, she has for this last year served in your palace as Sairindri, for whose sake Kichak was slain. And as for myself, I am Kunti's 3rd son, Arjuna. We have all lived happily in your city like creatures living in the womb." Virata's eyes flooded with tears. The great and virtuous Pandavas had chosen his kingdom to spend their final year of exile. Why had he not recognized them? Now it was obvious. For who else could have exhibited such power in battle but these brothers? The king folded his palms and bowed low to Yudhishthir. And as the king stood up, Bhumani Jai indicated Arjuna. "Yes, it was he who slew the Kurus like a lion killing deer. It was he who rescued the cows and overpowered the great heroes from Hastinapur. Why, my ears are still deafened from the incredible blasts of his kanchal." Virata felt deeply ashamed of himself for having insulted and wounding Yudhishthir. He now spoke humbly. The time has come for me to honor your illustrious selves. What should I do? If you like, I shall bestow my daughter Uttara upon Arjuna. I am fully indebted to all of you. It was Bhima who rescued me from the clutches of Susharma, and Arjuna has saved us from defeat at the hands of the Kurus. O great king, please forgive me if I have unwittingly given you any offense. You are worthy of my worship. Virata then offered his entire kingdom to Yudhishthira, along with his scepter, treasury, and city. He arranged for Brahmanas to offer them worship, and repeatedly exclaimed, "What good fortune!" The Pandavas got down and embraced the old monarch, who gazed at them without satiation. Again, offering his kingdom to them, he turned to Arjuna and added, "O hero, please take my daughter's hand." Arjuna placed his arm around the king's shoulders. "I think it best that Uttara become my daughter-in-law. That would be a fitting alliance between our two houses." "Oh, I am most surprised. Why would you not accept the princess as your own wife?" "O king, since I came here, your daughter has seen me like a father. We have often been alone together, and she has often confided in me. O king, I have seen her as my daughter, and do not wish anyone to think it was anything different. If I were to accept her as my wife, others will doubt her purity. So I wish to prove her chastity, and therefore will continue to see her as my daughter. There is no difference between a daughter and a daughter-in-law. Let her marry my son Abhimanyu. He is Krishna's nephew, and he resembles a celestial in every way. He will be a most proper husband for Uttara and a son for you." "Oh, you have spoken wisely, most virtuous one. Do what you think is proper. Whoever has a relationship with you, Arjuna, no matter what it may be, has all one's desires fulfilled." Yudhishthira gave his permission for the marriage, and it was settled. The king then arranged for the brothers to be quartered in his palace. He sent messengers out to announce to the friends of the Pandavas and their allies that now, having come out of exile, they were all doing very well and staying in his capital. Yudhishthira invited all of them to come to the city, and before long they began to arrive. Krishna and Balaram came from Dwaraka, bringing Abhimanyu and many other members of their family. Drupada arrived, accompanied by a huge division of soldiers. And the great king Kashiraj, a good friend of Yudhishthira, whose daughter had married Bhimasena, also came with another vast army. And when they all arrived in Virata, the Pandavas duly worshipped all of them. They were particularly joyful to see their friend and well-wisher Krishna, who brought with him an immense force of warriors. Krishna bowed before Yudhishthira and Bhima, while the younger Pandavas touched Krishna's feet. They all then embraced and sat down to exchange news. And so it was settled that the marriage between Abhimanyu and Uttara would take place on the next full moon day, and King Virata began to make arrangements. The city was decked with flags and festoons. And when the day of the wedding arrived, garlands were hung everywhere, and musicians played in the palace. Many beautiful damsels, wearing jeweled earrings, headed by Draupadi, led Uttara to the wedding sacrifice. Numerous brahmanas sat around the fire, chanting auspicious hymns from the Vedas. As the Pandavas looked on with Krishna, Balaram, and the other kings, Abhimanyu accepted Uttara's hand from King Virata. Being surrounded by brahmanas and kings, the bride and groom shone like a god and goddess amid the celestial hosts. Virata gave Abhimanyu a dowry of 7,000 horses, 2,000 elephants, and a great heap of gems and gold. The ceremony ended with a grand feast. Pure food was offered to Vishnu and then distributed first to the Brahmins and then to the thousands of citizens who attended the wedding. Gifts and charity were distributed to all, and everyone left the ceremony filled with joy and happiness. And as they departed for their homes, they all praised King Virata, as well as his daughter Uttara and his son-in-law Abhimanyu. Namasye Purushang Tvadyang Ishwarang Prakrite Param Alakshyang Sarva Bhutanam Antar Bahir Avashtatam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nanda Nayacha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankaja Nabhaya Nama Pankaja Malini Nama Pankaja Nitraya Namaste Pankaja Angrayi Namo Kinchana Vittaya Nivritta Gunavrittayi Atma Ramaya Shantaya Kaivalya Patayi Namaha